So your course and everything and all. So just want to know if I want to I want to move to data engineering side. What are the things I have to start from SAS? I do have already knowledge on the SAS. Okay, SAS DI ETL side. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so just want to know if I want to migrate towards Azure data side, Azure data engineering side, maybe probably on Databricks side because I am interested in Python and PySpark. So just want to know how I have to start basically the path.
Oh, okay. So, as you said that you are good in Python, right? You are interested
Yes,
in Python and stuff. So, do
yes,
you know
yeah,
Python well? I mean, do you know the basic stuff of it?
yeah. Basic data collection, object oriented oops and all. I'm just learning. Okay, basically no practical knowledge. I'm
Okay,
just
okay. You
learning.
are
Okay,
you are still learning it. Okay,
yeah.
okay. No problem. And what about the SQL part?
SQL I'm good because I already told correct. I'm in mainframe guy, which is having 20 years in mainframe. And DB2 and all I know. DB2 Netija I worked and SAS currently SAS also I'm working with Netija. So SQL I'm good. There's no doubt in that. Only thing the other things we have to learn.
Okay, okay, okay. So, see, yeah. Hi, Pradeep. Hi, Saurabh. We will talk about. We will talk in next a minute. First, let me query Shiva. Okay. Siva, like, what I was saying that, the step would be like, you should first start with the SQL. If you already know, just revise the concept, of what is DDL, how we can, join multiple tables, what is CTs, what is group by, when we have to use group by, where having, and other basic stuff. No need to, go very deep down. It's right now, since you are learning, right? And then switch to Python stuff, learn the basic, as you said that you already know about these stuff. So just revise all these concept. You do not need to worry about the OOPS concept as of now, because it is not much needed, right? It is not much needed, but if you want to have it, you can have it in your list. Apart from this, if you have some bandwidth, then try to learn at least the basic of Python. Sorry, basic of pandas, how we read the CSV file using pandas, how we do a basic manipulation using, pandas. Why I'm saying, because the pandas and PySpark, just a minute, pandas and PySpark syntax is quite similar. Okay, so if you directly jump to the PySpark, you might confuse later. So that's the reason I'm saying, if you have some bandwidth, you have some time, so it's better to learn very basic of pandas. What is, how we can, join two data frames in pandas, and so stuff, basic manipulation. Then if you want to be a Azure data engineer, right? So start from the ADF, that is a ETL tool. So ADF, why I am saying start from ADF, because ADF is just a tool. You have to, like 90% is a UI, 10% is coding. Okay, so the person who doesn't know coding well, if you directly jump to that part, the person will get confused very often, right? So hence, this is the reason, start from the UI tool, you drag and drop tool, so that you won't get confused, or you won't lose the interest in this field. And start from ADF, it will take around 15-20 days only, just do a basic operation, like, copy the data or file or whatever from one place, from one server to another server, nothing else. Just do this. Do not need to do some manipulation using ETL, using ADF. You forgot about this. Just do that part. For now, it will take 10 to 15 days only. You can watch any videos, like there are plenty playlists present on YouTube. You can start any one of it, watch it, and watch around 30-40 videos. That is enough to just get started. Once it is done, I would recommend and then you jump to the database part. So since you already know, the pandas stuff, right? So it will be easier for you to learn the PySpark, right? The same thing, like whatever you have done using pandas, right? Read the CSV file, read the Excel file, write down the CSV file. Those things you will start applying into using PySpark. Before going to that, I would suggest to learn the basic structure or basic architecture of Apache Spark, how the Spark works internally, right? Basics. I mean, do not need to go very deep down, right? Since you are starting it, you are just learning learning the basic. First, learn those stuff. Write some queries in PySpark, or even though you can learn in you can write the same thing is using Spark SQL, means using using SQL queries. Also, once it is done, go to Delta Lake, Delta table, right? How we can leverage the Delta Lake in Databricks. Do all the stuff, learn all the stuff. Then once it is done, then you have to focus on the optimization part. What is partitions, how we can optimize my job, how we can load a huge data, how we can load multiple type kind of data in my in my sync system. Those kind of stuff you will then start doing it. Once it is done, you are good to go. Build up one project. That is more than enough to show your experience in the real time. And that's enough, I believe. Then you do not need to worry about it. And I mean, do more practice on Apache Spark or Databricks side, because nowadays companies are companies asking more questions on Databricks only. Like they won't ask you much question on ADF part, right? Or even though in the SQL they ask the questions. In Python also they ask the question, but they won't ask much question in ADF. But at least you should have some command in ADF also, but focus mainly on Apache Spark or Databricks.
Yeah, sure. I got it. I note down all your points. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have. Hey, hi Maruti. Hi Saurabh. Hi Devi Prasad. You can ask me anything if you want, if you have any questions. Do you guys have any question? Devi Prasad, Saurabh. You're not audible, Devi Prasad.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Am I
Yeah,
audible?
you're audible now. Yes.
Yeah, actually, I want to transition to the field of data engineering, and can you please specify something of which are the things that need to be considered while learning all these, and any specific roadmap so that it will be.
Roadmap is same for all. First SQL, then Python, then ADF, then basic knowledge of Azure, and then Databricks or Apache Spark.
Okay. Then means your courses will be helpful in that case.
See, the free courses, if you want to learn just basic, the free courses is enough to get started off, okay, in any of the technology. Python, SQL, you can learn from YouTube. I mean, from any of the, website, or there are multiple channels, right? For Databricks, for ADF, you can refer my channel, you can refer some other channel to just learn the basic stuff I'm saying, because basic cover everyone covers the basic. If you want to build a project, then you can take out my course. And when you already know the basic of SQL, basic of Python, basic of Databricks, and Azure Data Factory. If you do not know these things, I would not suggest to go and put your money into these courses. You will not learn much, because since your basics are not clear. Once you are done with that, I would suggest to go and take the courses. Also, if you want to learn Logic App, if you want to learn some real-time questions on Databricks and PySpark, you can check out my course. That is also available on the internet on my website.
Okay, and one thing I want to ask that means I have the knowledge of Python and SQL. Then I was bit confused of which of the cloud technologies should I go with. because right now I am brushing up the concept of big data and Hadoop and all the architecture, how this works. And can you please help me
See,
with
it
that?
is totally on you which cloud you want to go. Every cloud, I mean, two clouds are very famous, AWS and Azure. Okay, GCP is also famous, but it is not that much. But most companies using Azure and AWS. Now it is your call which technology you wanna use. I would suggest, since I am working on Azure from the last 4 years, so I am seeing this Azure is quite easy, easier than from the other cloud technology, the tools and the features what Microsoft provide us, what Azure provides us, that is good enough. Now it is totally on your call. And see, whatever technology, whatever the resources, services we have it in Azure, the same resources, services, almost 90% resources are available on AWS. Now it's totally on your, I mean, it's totally your call, which technology you wanna use.
Okay, yeah. Okay, got it.
Thank you. Hi, Maruti. Hi, iPhone, MSAMP. Do you have any question?
Yes, hi, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Yeah, I have a question like regarding the certification. If someone wants to take the certification, like Azure certification,
Yes.
so what should be like the right path, and also do you offer like any training on that?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
I said if someone wants to take the certification, Azure to be Azure certified.
DP203, right?
Yeah, DP, and I see like I saw there are a lot of multiple certification there. So which one which someone should go for, and do you offer any training to get on that route to be certified?
So you want certification, right, from the Azure, from the Microsoft. You
Yes.
need to do
Hi.
that, correct?
Yes, yes.
So,
I need to do that.
so guys, welcome back. So what you can do, you can go,
Mhm.
you can watch out. I mean, you can go with the Microsoft documentation, and there you can
Yeah.
search for DP203 certification, Azure Data Engineering certification. You will get some resources or the modules, or I can say the chapters, right? Then choose that
Yes.
chapter, choose that module and search over internet, watch out some, 5 to 10 videos. That's it. Apart from this, once you're done with that, I would suggest to go to exam topic or examdump.com. There is one website which provide a dumps of all the certification that is free of cost. Go there
Okay.
and check your knowledge, how much you know. See, cracking and
Yeah.
certification, it's very easy, because there will be a
Yeah.
repeated question. I would suggest not to focus on this kind of certification. I know some companies ask this kind of certification, right?
Yeah.
But if you want to learn something good, something new, right, then I would suggest to do more practice on these technology rather than going with just a certification. Make more projects, build more complicated projects, and so.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah,
Thank
that's my
you.
question.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hi Shubhankar. Hi Ronak.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, sir. One more thing that I want was actually I am try means obviously the ADF file, all the things means I am not belongs to any IT background, and but I have done somehow the SQL and the Python, but I am also finding so many difficulties while doing some of the Azure and data engineering, all the things. So, any suggestions from your side?
You are saying that you know Python SQL, right? And
last 6 months, I am learning this SQL in the Python. So at the same time, also I'm learning the Azure Data Engineer, but I am finding some difficulties actually. That's
what
why.
kind of difficulty you are facing?
Means suppose let's say when in ADF, suppose let's say implementing any of the pipelines, or when it's jump to the means to get some of the good idea about the Python, and that kind of means I found some difficulties on particular area, like some theoretical areas or practical things also.
No. If you can tell me the exact root cause, right? What you are challenging, so that I can help you, right? I understood
Yes.
since you are learning it by yourself, you might be getting multiple errors, right? Making a
Yes.
pipeline or doing some activities in it. So if you can tell me what exactly you are facing, where, you are not getting what you have to do, or you are not understanding the architecture, or the activities or the functionality which a resource or the service is providing.
So I know the function, but when it's time for the utilizing some of the pipelines, that time we have to write some SQL or the thing. That time I face difficulty. So whether it means only the solution only to practice different sample of questions, or I need to practice a lot.
See, I would see you are. Do you know ADF?
Yes.
You are good in that. Do you know
No,
when to
I'm
use
not
get
good at
needed?
that. No, last 6 months I actually entered to this field. So currently, some part I only know about the ATF, but now I am focusing.
Almost 30-40% you know right now.
Yes.
That is good enough. Do not need to go very deep down, right? As I mentioned to someone else also, do not need to go very deep down. Up. And what about that database, Apache Spark, PySpark?
No,
You
I
do not
don't
know.
have any idea about the PySpark folder.
No, so you have to learn PySpark also if you want to be a data engineer in today's world. See, go to you can install your PySpark, you can install the PySpark in your local machine also. You can set up all the environment. If you do not want to do that, you can go and use a free version of Database community. I mean, there's a community edition of Database. Database is a cloud platform which provides Apache Spark things. Okay. So, there you do not need to worry about the clusters, VMs, and other stuff. Everything will be taken care by database company only. Okay. Now, you have, see, if you are good in Python, you are good in SQL, almost little bit, Now, y- to learn PySpark or Spark SQL, I don't know whether you are following me on YouTube. Take two CSV files built by yourself, right? Just having 2-3 columns in it, 4-5 rows in it, and create another CSV file like that. Okay, do not go with multiple type of sources as of now. Take 2-3 two files with having 10 rows each. Okay, and 2-3 columns in each. Let's say a student and teacher CSV file. You can easily get the rows also, or columns. Then whatever you have learned till now in SQL, whatever, group by, having, where, join, CT, XYZ things, right? Apply those things using PySpark with the help of these two files. Now you might be thinking how I can get started. You can go and I hope you know Hindi, right?
Yes.
So you can go to my series, that is a free series on YouTube. You can go with any other YouTube channel also, right? Follow all these steps, one by one, how to filter the query, how to read the CSV file, how to write the CSV file, how to, how, like, there are multiple operations in CSV file. You can go with these, and then joining two data frames, filtering out two data frames, union by name, then accept, intersect, set, whatever you have learned right till now in SQL. You have row number, rank, lead, lag, all the other stuff. You can do the same thing in PySpark. It will take only 10 to 15 days to learn these things if you are giving like 2-3 hours daily. Right? Once it is done, now as I mentioned someone else also, now you have to go back and learn the optimization methods, or focus more on the Apache Spark side. How we can optimize my work, how the backend is working, right? Those things you will learn at the end, because those things are kind of difficult. See, first you learn the basic only when what is Apache Spark. Before going to the, before learning all this stuff, you should not, without learning all this stuff, the basic stuff, you cannot write the PySpark code, right? You will not understand. At least just go with any YouTube video, any blog, and now just understand, acha, what is Apache Spark? This is a distributed parallel system, where the data process in a distributed fashion. Okay, you understood what is partition, what is this. Just learn basic, then switch to PySpark. Once it is done, then go and learn in a deep way, what is optimization method, what is broadcast variable, how we can optimize our Apache Spark, how much cost is there when we run a job. Those kind of things you will learn in the last stage, because these kind of things are very difficult. As a beginner, no one will understand easily, what's happening. So if you just get into it and learning difficult things, you will think like, it's a difficult task, or I'm not getting it, as you said before that, right? So it's better to start from basic first, learn, complete everything basic, then you can, go with any YouTube channel, any blog, just watch out some videos daily, interview questions, try to solve interview question, try to understand the the core of the Apache Spark, core of the Databricks. That's it. The best thing is build two files, make two files, put it into a Databricks, or put it anywhere, and then use those two files to practice on PySpark.
Thank you.
I hope I answered you.
Yes, I got your point.
Hi Ronak. Hi Rahul.
Yeah, hi
Hi
Sagar.
Hi Ronak, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. How about you?
Doing great.
Yeah. So Sagar, just want to know like anything you would suggest. Like I'm preparing for DP203. So that's what my current organization is asking to do. Something in Azure side. Not mandatory, but my choice is TB203 directly. I haven't done anything as of now, but I just started my journey on Azure. So just want to know
Is it
what.
free? It is free free certification, or you have to
Yeah,
pay?
it's from
Sponsor
the no, it's sponsors from it's sponsors
organization.
from my current organization. To some percent, they are giving some vouchers. Yeah, but it's mandatory to
So
get at least one something on the Azure side. And moreover, I am working on this domain, like not in the development side, but I am as an Kafka admin. So my more interest is on the data engineering side. Like I have just started, and Spark and other things I am much aware. I have just tried, but I did not got any chance to work on complete end-to-end project. Yeah. So I know the concepts.
why I ask this question? Because I would suggest to go with DP100 first. As you said
Okay.
that you just started it, right?
Yeah.
If it is sponsored, you can go with DP100, and that is a very simple exam. You just have to learn the basic of Azure. What is VM, what is blob storage,
Yeah,
what
it's a
is
DP900, correct? I am
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
next week
sorry,
exactly.
I'm
It's
sorry,
giving.
sorry,
DP900 data
sorry,
fundamentals.
sorry,
Yes,
sorry.
next week I'm giving that. Yeah, even same case with me. IBM do the sponsoring. So my goal is to do DP900. After that, DP203.
So
Okay.
please do not jump directly to do not see. That is a quite difficult exam,
Okay.
So this is the reason I just ask you. So first go with DP 900, the fundamental one. Then try to see, to be honest, if you wanna learn something, so try to build a project. Try to solve real world problems. See, cracking a certification is not a very big deal. To be honest, maybe you will fail in a first shot, but in second shot you will crack it. There are plenty of dumps. See what happens, no? Since this might be the reason. This might be the case. If you have passed the exam, your money will be refunded, or if you fail the exam, the money will not be refunded. Maybe many companies do the same,
Yeah, yeah,
do these
that's
things,
correct.
right?
Yeah.
Now you can consider the scenario in first shot, you by any chance, you fail in the exam. In the second shot, then you don't want to waste your money, 5,000, 4,000 rupees, right? Then you will go to the website and search for dumps, mug up those questions, right? And then you will give the exam. To be honest, everyone does the same thing. Like 90% people does the same thing because no one wants to waste their money. Correct. And the money is also too
Yeah,
good,
yeah.
right? 400, 4,000, 5,000 rupees. So hence, this is the reason I'm saying, don't be in a hurry. If you are just thinking, okay, I know this basic stuff and only certification will help me to, understand or, to get the knowledge. No, that is not true. It's better to invest the things on project. Build any kind of project. Try to, solve different scenarios. Do not need to build a project, I would say. Suppose I am saying, hey, there is a file present in the website, right? Now I have to pull that file. How I can do that, right? So just try to do that. And like there could be multiple scenarios. You can find out on YouTube, you can find out on LinkedIn, you can find out in, GitHub and other stuff. Try to do that. Invest that money in that part only. Certification is easy. I mean, even though I have given the certification 2-3 years back, till now I didn't give any single certification because I got to know कि जो नॉलेज है वो वहां से नहीं आएगी, राइट? वो सिर्फ मार्क्स दिखाने को है, लिंक्डइन पे वो व्यूज आने को है. बट ideally, if you wanna have some knowledge, you want to gain some knowledge, better to build multiple projects. Try to do something unique. Suppose you are working in an organization, right? And you get some task, and mainly what happens in the company, the same task has been done by someone else. So what we do, we just copy that code and put it in our repository, our notebook, or we just do some changes. Correct? If you want to learn something, try to find out the error, find out the bug in the existing code. Maybe the code was not optimized. Maybe the code was not handling multiple corner cases. Try to build your own code and do the stuff so that you will gain some new knowledge. Copy paste तो सब करते हैं, right? I mean, I'm just saying, if you want to learn something new things, maybe you will get some more. I mean, you will take some more time to complete your daily task, right? But at the end, you will at least learn something new. One, the repeated task only we will be doing. This is
Yeah,
only this is only the, that's what I'm saying. It is choice is yours. If you want to learn Azure, I mean, if you want to crack that, as I said to someone else, go to that website, Microsoft Learning website. You can search for DP 203. You can just get some chapters or modules in it and go, and then you can learn it. And once you are prepared with that, go to exam topic, examdump.com. There is one website. I don't remember the name exactly. You can go with that, judge your knowledge, whatever you know. There will be around 100, 200 questions for free. So you can, check your knowledge there. Once you are okay with it, then you can, apply for that exam.
yeah. And I just had one more question. Like whatever the content you have been publishing till now, maybe in the paid and non-paid, like say, I just was curious and waiting even like the more contents like end to end, because multiple things are there here in bits and pieces. It's like scattered. Like अगर मुझे combo चाहिए, like I would say targeting the TB203 in depth. So are you planning anything that will cover the 80-90% of syllabus?
See, Ronak, I mean, the question, this question was asked by many people. The thing is, see, I do not wish to, publish the same content which is available on multiple places, and that is also available for free. To be honest, right? So whatever you are asking, you are thinking that to clear the DP203, you need more knowledge. To be honest, that is not the case. Okay. I have, matlab, whatever I have in my YouTube channel, there is enough. Now, if you want, I have 2 projects on my website. I do not know whether you are aware about it. You can go with that. I hope someone has taken that course. I guess Tushar or someone has taken that course. That is enough. I mean, enough to get the knowledge, end-to-end knowledge. You said that that you do not have any single place where I can get everything. So I am planning to it, but I am not planning the same content which is available on internet or any other website or anything, because why I would ask some money from you guys. I do not want that. So you can see in my YouTube channel, in my database playlist, there is around 70 videos. There's enough है, बहुत ज्यादा है वो, मतलब you do not need to worry about it. ओके अभी होने को तो हम उसको 1000 ही बना सकते हैं, बैठ के 100 बना दिया उसको, है ना, मल्टीपल केसेस निकलते जाते हैं। हमने आज काम किया, मुझे अभी एक कुछ नया वो आ गया, यूज केस आ गया, मैंने वीडियो बना दी, ऐसे तो बहुत बन जाएगी। जितना है उतना इनफ है। एडीएफ में भी 30 वीडियोस है, इनफ है, डेटा फ्लो नहीं है उसमें, इनफ है उतनी समझना। अभी आपको समझ गए हो, आप कॉन्सेप्ट समझ गए, ओके, व्हेन टू यूज कॉपी एक्टिविटी, व्हेन टू यूज वेरिएबल, व्हेन टू यूज पैरामीटर्स, व्हेन टू यूज debug and other stuff. Now suppose if I'm asking you some other question, then you will be able to write that logic, or make that pipeline by your own. Whenever you're watching something, whenever either the paid course or free course, try to build by your own self. क्या होता है, सी अगर मैंने आपको एक यूज केस बताया, मैंने कोड लिखा, माई दिस नॉट, इफ आई एम मेकिंग द वीडियो, इट डजंट मीन दैट आई एम द गुड, आई मीन जो मैंने किया है वो सही तरीके से किया है, आई एम परफेक्ट, राइट? यू कैन फाइंड आउट द बग फ्रॉम माई कोड ऑल्सो, बिल्ड योर ओन सेल्फ। सो आपने आइडिया ले लिया ना, अच्छा ये आइडिया होता है, ऐसे किया जाता है, देन ट्राई बाय योर सेल्फ, you will learn more.
Okay. Yeah.
This is what I believe, Ronak. I mean, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but this is how I follow. So because कोर्स बनाने को बनाया जा सकता है, बट वही जो सेम चीज़ अवेलेबल है उसको रिपीट करना, हम बना रहे हैं या कोई दूसरा बना रहा है, आप उसमें 1000-2000 रुपये इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो अपने, तो वो डजंट मेक सेंस। तो अगर मैं, जैसे आपने बोला कि आपको कुछ चाहिए सॉलिड, आई एम नॉट आई एम नॉट गिविंग गारंटीड कि इफ़ यू टेक दैट प्रोजेक्ट कोर्स वो आपको DP 203 वाला एग्जाम क्रैक करा देगा। वो तो क्रैक नहीं कराएगा, बट आपका इंटरव्यू भले ही क्रैक करा देगा, क्योंकि इंटरव्यू में आपको बताना पड़ता है कि आपने क्या काम किया है। और इवन दो इफ यू आर वर्किंग इन अ करंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जहाँ पे आप डेटा इंजीनियरिंग स्टफ कर रहे हो, आपको आइडिया चाहिए कि कैसे हम कॉस्ट को रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं, राइट, हम क्या ऑटोमेशन कर सकते हैं, तो वहाँ पे आपको वो चीज़ मिल जाएगी कि हम रियल टाइम पे क्या चीज़ ऑटोमेट कर सकते हैं। वो चीज़ मैंने वहाँ पे बताई होगी। मेरा गोल ये नहीं है कि सिर्फ एग्जाम क्लियर कर लो, वो उसमें कुछ मज़ा नहीं आता, टू बी ऑनेस्ट।
Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah.
बाकी आप देख लो, अगर आपको लेना, आई एम नॉट श्योर वेदर यू आर अवेयर अबाउट दैट, इफ यू वांना टेक यू कैन टेक इट, दैट्स आई मीन बहुत लोगों ने लिया है, ऑलमोस्ट 90% लोगों ने सही बोला है उसको, दैट्स व्हाई आई एम ऑल्सो सेइंग कि आप ले लो, आपको यूजफुल लगेगा अगर आपको ये बेसिक आता है सर, डेटाबेस का बेसिक, ADF का बेसिक, है ना, वो सब चीज़ें कंप्लीट एंड टू एंड है, हर चीज़ है, पावर BI, CI/CD, लॉजिक है, पावर शेल अटैच कैसे करते, एक मास्टर पाइपलाइन बनेगी, वही डिबग, वही आप शेड्यूल करोगे, सब चीज़ रन हो जाएगी अपने आप ऑटोमेट, तो वो सब चीज़ें हैं।
Okay. Yeah.
ओके, हाय राहुल, हाय शुभांकर, हाय तुषार, या तुषार यू वर अबाउट टू से?
Yeah, hi. Actually, I just took your course. Today, like, I have to just
Correct.
finish Power BI and I'll be done. So yeah, the course is quite long, and the beauty of the course is that, like, yeah, I have done the DP23 exam. If I am not stepping on your toes, if anyone wants dump, I have it. Okay, I have the paid dumps through some place. I can give that. That's not an issue. But that does not see. Yeah, and I did fail the exam, and both the exams
सब
were
होते
paid
हैं
by
वो।
my.
करेक्ट।
Yeah, the organization paid for it. See, the exam has one issue which, I think, what do you call? Everyone is facing. It does not help us with projects. The $200 credit is not helpful. So no projects. So which is why I took your course, to be honest, and it helped me. I had no knowledge of SPN. Like I have done some work with Key Vault, but like the amount of like your project, everything goes through Key Vault, securing it, making it optimized.
Mm.
That is one of the things which is more kind of like important kind of item. So yeah, thank you. Actually, to be honest, yeah, I have done some work, but yeah, and I have like 4 years of experience, and mostly it's on testing. So automation testing, I actually write code. But the thing is, to switch to a data domain, I still am struggling to get a job in that kind of thing. People either ask me too much because I have become senior, so that kind of bites me there. Yeah, so it is kind of getting me in difficult. Plus, I don't have confidence in that. Like, oh, data factory. Oh, answer me this question. My answer is straightforward to the exam kind of knowledge. I have not gone through the exam question. Sorry, in the normal interview question. So I have to sit and prepare. And since like I have my work kind of keeps me employed for 12 hours a day, it kind of gets hectic. But thank you for making the course. I'm going to do the real time as well. And like if anyone needs dumps, I'll give it to you. You can give it to anyone who comes and asks you. But yeah, please focus only on the, like if you just blankly want to pass the exam, focus on the dumps. But
Mm.
if you actually want to get a job or to actually get the knowledge, his course is quite good, and there are other courses as well,
Yes,
like
yes, yes.
yeah, they are quite nice as well. Sure.
Correct. So it doesn't mean that, my course is perfect, no course is 100% perfect, right? So I have just tried to give the idea what actually happens in the, real time. Because I see I mean, I'm not targeting anyone. I see multiple courses where just, taking the data from one source, putting in some location and doing the stuff हो गया, है ना? मतलब एक घंटे में आपने कोर्स बना दिया। तो वैसे कोर्स मतलब मत देखो तो ज़्यादा अच्छा है, बाकी चॉइस इज योर्स। मतलब हाँ, सबके अच्छे कोर्सेज हैं, बट आई एम सेइंग कि वो रियल टाइम नहीं होते हैं, वो प्रैक्टिस करने को आपको ओके है, इफ यू वांट जस्ट डू सम प्रैक्टिस, दैट इज इनफ। बट इफ यू आर थिंकिंग आई वांट टू गेट सम, मे बी माई कोर्स इज ऑल्सो नॉट 100% करेक्ट, नॉट सभी चैलेंजेस वहाँ पे कवर नहीं किए हैं ना, वो होते हैं रियल टाइम में। एक प्रोजेक्ट में वी कैन नॉट कवर एवरीथिंग विद, इफ वी आर हैविंग द सम काइंड ऑफ डमी डेटा, तो वो पॉसिबल नहीं होता है। हेंस दिस इज द रीजन। बट यू कैन, यू गाइस, इफ यू वांट समवन, इफ यू वांट परचेज इट, यू कैन गो एटलीस्ट 90%, you will love it. And Tushar, if you have any question, you can ask me. I mean, related to anything.
Yeah, would you be making a Synapse course in the later point in time?
I was planning. I mean, I'm confused. And I mean, should I make a course on PySpark, or should I make a course on Synapse? Maybe I was also thinking to make the course on Fabric. The end-to-end first. Will teach you the basic stuff, and then we'll try to build some project on top of that. So I'm quite confused now, which one I should do, because many people are saying they want to learn PySpark, but as I said that everything is available. I do not know why people want no course on PySpark. There are plenty of channels who are providing the same content, right? So this is the reason.
May I ask, like, what would be different here? Like, you have done, your YouTube has enough, like PySpark, writing things, your course, like whatever I did, it had enough. Building the project, it did everything. What would be different? Like, if you do bring a course on PySpark, what would be the different item here? That is
Different
my
items,
question.
see, 100% can be different, right? We all know the concept will be same, because see, the courses, the database course or the PySpark code, which I have built, or when I started, it was like 2 years back. At that time, I did not know much, right, on PySpark. Now I know better, and I understood the real-time challenges what people face in the project. So those things I can cover. I'm not saying that it will be a बिल्कुल ही हट के मजा आएगा,
Mm.
no. Right, तो वो तो नहीं हो सकता. I have to show you how to read CSV file. So that is a state formula, right? So a state code, I have to show you. But also I can tell you कि हाँ, see, this is the place where the people facing challenges. See, sometimes we are not passing a schema option. We are making in infra schema too. So what is the reason? should we use the infer schema or should not we use the infer schema? So the reason is we should use we should use schema option, right, to pass our own schema so that the process will be faster. If you provide a schema, right, then there will no, the PySpark or the Spark will not go and read the schema, right? There will be only one job if you're just directly reading the file. If you have enabled the infer schema too, then first Spark will go and fetch the schema and then it will load the data. So there will be two jobs. Now, if you are having very big file, CSV file, then the process will be quite slower.
Okay, sure. That
So
I
these
would
kind of
suggest like
things, see, abhi aisa nahi hai ki ye ek hi scenario. I have covered this scenario in one of the course, right? वो real time Spark scenario that is called Databricks wala real time scenario question. There I have covered these kind of questions only. You know, थोड़े जैसे कि अब people are asking more question on cache and persist. So see, if you are giving an interview in very big company, right? Amazon में दे रहे हो or if any other big company MNC, and if you are having a very good experience, then they are not gonna ask you what is cache, what is persist. Everyone know what is cache persist, right? They will give you one scenario saying that this is the notebook, this is the code. Now tell me how you write the code. If you write simple, they will just give one basic example. You have one data frame, you have to do a self join, right? On top of that data frame, write the query. You will think, hey, this is very straightforward. एक data frame बनाया, उसका copy बना लिया, उसका दे दिया alias कर दिया, and उसको join कर दिया, and you are like, हो गया sir. No, that is not true. There you have to use cache. You are running data frame 2 times. If we do a cache, it will only run 1 time. It will process only 1 time. So this is the hack. People do not know this. These things I have been covering in one of the course Databricks. Now people are asking, hey Sagar, course बनाओ, PySpark course लाओ. अब मैं क्या बोलूं भाई उनको? मुझे पता है भाई, आपको पता है ना, the person who already knows these. They know कि ये सब चीजें available हैं free में. अब people ही बोल रहे हैं तो चलो बना दो. That's why this is the reason, अभी कोई नहीं पूछता ऐसे कैशे क्या होता है, जब आप लिंक्डइन पर देख रहे हो, हे कैशे प्रोसेस, कोई नहीं पूछता भाई ये सब क्वेश्चन. तो सिनेरियो बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आप क्वेश्चन वही है, मतलब इफ यू वांट टू लर्न ना, इस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस लगाओ, खुद से प्रैक्टिस करो. मतलब आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि मेरा कोर्स लो, आप जाओ खुद से नेट पे सर्च करो और खुद सोचो कि यार क्या हो सकता है ये इतना, इसमें मैं अलग 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 सिनेरियो लगा के देखता हूँ. ब्रॉडकास्ट ज्वाइन नहीं लगा सकते, ब्रॉडकास्ट वेरिएबल नहीं लगा सकते, एक्यूमुलेटर नहीं लगा सकते, कैशे परसिस्ट में कैशे ही क्यों लगाएंगे? अगर मेमोरी बहुत ज़्यादा बहुत बड़ी फाइल आ गई तो कैशे फेल हो जाएगा, तो शुड आई यूज परसिस्ट देयर, राइट? अब परसिस्ट हो गया तो उसमें भी बहुत चैलेंजेस आ जाते हैं कभी कभी, है ना? आपका जो क्लस्टर ये बहुत छोटा हो गया एंड 10 लोग अलग अलग डेटा फ्रेम को कैशे कर रहे हैं तो क्या होगा? तो ये सब काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन ना आई एम ट्राइंग टू कवर इन वन ऑफ द कोर्स. अभी मेरा मन नहीं है, आई डो नॉट वांट टू मेक दैट कोर्स. जैसे आपने बोला तुषार कि दिस इज ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल, तो क्या फायदा, राइट? दैट आई ऑल्सो अंडरस्टैंड, बट पीपल आर आस्किंग, बट abhi it is not finalized. I am trying to make a course on maybe ADF or or this Synapse only because there is a too much demand. And after that, but these kind of questions which I explained you guys, these kind of questions I have been covering in Databricks and real-time scenario questions, because I believe that is where the people are lagging. Even though that is not I can say सभी क्वेश्चंस नहीं कवर हो सकते. what I am facing now, what I am thinking, why I am making the scenario, so this is not a question which was asked in any company. Okay, I am trying to make my own story कि अच्छा ऐसे ऐसे होगा, अब बताओ क्या करेंगे. So those things I am trying now.
Thank you. I would suggest like first make a PySpark and then Synapse.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi Rahul. Hi Tejas.
Hi, Sagar.
How are you?
Yeah, fine. I have a doubt regarding the a data engineer.
Hmm.
I am fresher, so I have recently passed my MCA, and I have done 6-month boot camp, which is related data engineering.
So
So
what you learn from them?
yeah, I have learned PySpark, SQL, Python, and Power BI.
Hmm.
And my motive is I have a lot of interest in Azure side. They also uh, give uh, some classes on Azure also. They are using cloud service on Azure,
Okay.
and I have make one or two project on PySpark and Azure Synapse. I have
Okay.
interest in. I have lot of interest there, but because of fresher, how can I do more and more project and getting the job in data engineering domain?
So you have already, you have already learned all these concepts, right? You have built your
Yeah,
project, 2, 3 projects you have built. Now, are you not getting the calls or where you are facing challenge?
yeah, not getting the calls, and I think I am not this solid project to
Experience.
crack. Yeah, and also not getting the any call from the company side.
What type of project you have built?
I have built a data engineering end-to-end project where I have put a CSV file from my local system and create a self-host. And after that, I put the CSV file on the SQL. And after that, I am using the data factory.
Single CSV file
Yeah. No. First, I am using the single CSV file, and after that, I am using the multiple CSV file.
for
And put
local.
put all the files into the Azure data factory, and after
Understood
that,
what you are trying to say. Okay, I understood.
yeah.
Mhm.
uh,
That is not a project, Rahul. Okay.
okay,
And to be honest, I do not know if you are fresher, there are jobs available or not. I have no idea. Uh, Please, if anyone having, any idea, they can share the thoughts. But I don't think so. Fresher is hired, in this data engineering. Not now, before I have seen, since, there is a quite market is down nowadays, right? And you can apply in a middle range companies, don't focus on a very big companies, MNCs, right? You can start from the base, very small companies, right? There are many companies in Hyderabad or, all over the India. You can apply there and try to, see whatever you are writing in your resume, try to keep the points like, what did you do extra? Okay. See, I also know Azure Data Engineering. Tushar also know Azure Data Engineering. Tejas also know Azure Data Engineering. You also know. What is the difference between? What is the difference? What is the difference between among us, right? How much you know? How much Tushar know? How much Tejas? How much Ronak? Right? If you're just writing, I know Power BI, I'm not sure whatever you have written. If you have written like this, you have to change. If you are writing, I know Power BI, I know ADF, I have copied the data from one place to another place, lookup activity. Those things will not help you, to be honest. Even though if you are fresher, or maybe if we have many people here, if try to write something so that it will, those words will I can say a kind of the attractive words where you have done something extra apart from everyone. Let's say I have built a pipeline where I have reduced the cost from $30 to $20 per month. Before it was taking $30. I have done something. Now, if you written this point, if your resume gets selected, क्वेश्चंस आएंगे राइट सामने से इंटरव्यू पे कि व्हाट यू हैव डन नाउ यू हैव टू बी रेडी फॉर दैट स्टोरी कि व्हाट यू हैव
Okay.
डन बिफोर आई वाज creating multiple data sets, multiple link services, multiple activities. If you know, ADF will cost on each activity also. How many activities you have, there will be a cost associated. So you have to reduce the cost. You have to reduce the activities. Before I will be using 100 data set, then I use a data set that parameterization properties, right? Then I reduce the cost. Before the integration, DUs or DUs, whatever it is, SKUs, the memory, I can say, or the parallelism was very high. So then we understood that the data which we have, which we are dealing with, that was not very big. Then we reduce the DTUs, because आप 100 DTUs का बना रहे हो, let's say, I'm just saying, and आप यूज ही कर रहे हो 2 या 3 DTUs, so आपका पैसे तो जा रहे हैं ना फालतू में, तो आपने उसको रिड्यूस किया. Those kind of scenarios you can make. ये मैंने एक एग्जाम्पल दिया आपको. अभी if I go थोड़ा ज़्यादा, तो आपको शायद अभी इतना समझ में भी ना आए, सिंस यू आर फ्रेशर, राइट? आपको आइडिया नहीं है पूरा अभी. तो these kind of things you have to write in your resume. And whatever project you have built, try to make a story. If I ask you right away, बताओ क्या किया है प्रोजेक्ट में, तो आपको तुरंत 1-2 मिनट में बता देना चाहिए कि हाँ मैंने ये किया, किस टाइप का डेटा था, कितना वॉल्यूम था, ये वो फलाना ढिमकाना.
Okay.
So don't focus on very big companies, focus on middle range company. You will get better chances there.
From where we have find all the things? I think in your course you have cover all the things.
You said that you already been taken the boot camp. So in one of the courses I have told all these things, right? When to use when to use this and that optimization method. Before that, I would suggest to go with the basic first. Maybe your basic is good. I know your basic is good, but at least learn again, revise the basic concepts.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Nowadays थोड़ा सा मार्केट डाउन है, so don't lose hope, कि मेरा नहीं हो रहा है, resume select नहीं हो रहा है. ऐसा नहीं है. आप अपने naukri.com में थोड़ा सा प्रोफाइल को ऑप्टिमाइज करिए, उसमें इमीडिएट ज्वाइनर लिखिए, उसमें जो कीवर्ड्स होते हैं, ऑटो लोडर, काफका, इवन दो यू डू नॉट नो. Okay, I also don't know everything in my whatever I have written in my resume. Okay, JD में जो पूछा जाता है, देखो डिपेंड करता है सामने वाला कैसा है. इफ आई एम टेकिंग इन द इंटरव्यू, मे बी आई डू नॉट नो काफका, सो आई विल नॉट आस्क द क्वेश्चंस टू यू रिलेटेड टू काफका. आई जस्ट आस्क वेरी बेसिक, जो भी गूगल पे मिल गया मैंने पूछ लिया. ठीक है, अभी आपको एटलीस्ट बेसिक डेफिनेशन पता होना चाहिए भाई काफका क्या है. समवन आस्क यू, हे राहुल, हैव यू वर्कड ऑन काफका? सो यू नॉट से कि ए आई डू नॉट नो. इससे मतलब चलता है कि यार तुम्हें कुछ भी पता ही नहीं है. I have worked in Kafka 6 months back. There I used to this and that. बस इतना बोल दे, खत्म. भाई पता नहीं है, पहले किया था, है ना. ये ऐसे जवाब दिए जाते हैं गोलमोल. अभी आप बिल्कुल नो कर दोगे, नो, तो उसको इंटरेस्ट ही हट गया, है ना. अब ये भी होता है कभी कभी कि नहीं पता सामने वाले को कि तुम आता भी है, वो बस अंधी मार रहा था, है ना, कि भाई तुम बस पूछ लें इससे. तो थोड़ा सा ऐसा होता है. आप लिखो जो भी आपको आता है, एटलीस्ट उसका बेसिक आइडिया होने के बाद ही यू हैव टू राइट इट डाउन. You can, if you want to take that course, you can take it, but I would suggest first, make your profile correct, learn basics, and then you can go ahead. I hope I answered you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Hi Tejash. Hi Shubhankar.
Hi. Thank you so much for keeping the webinar again. So it's really helpful. Actually, I used to wait for this webinars to ask you some questions. Some are silly, but still they are helpful when I get answers from you.
If I remember, we had connect, right?
Yes.
From Pune, Mumbai, right? Mumbai.
Yeah, Mumbai. Yeah.
हाँ. जब आपने बोला तो मैं समझ में आ गया.
Yeah. Okay. So actually, my question is regarding the data architect view. So basically, when we have the Azure or any data engineering, so firstly we have some of the data architects, which mostly works on those data modeling and data warehouse, and most of the SQL part. So can you just let me know or let us know like what are the some topics or subtopics in it, so we can just have a look, because that gives the more of the business requirement or business idea when we connect with the data architects or something. So I just wanted to check like what are the subtopics we need to revise or we need to brush up. Like we have dim facts. Most of the things are there in data warehouse or data architect level with the SQL and all.
Data architect level. I mean, just this thing only. Same. I mean, schema type of schemas. If you are putting, if your company having data warehouse, if your company, I don't think so now. Means company having data warehouse nowadays, but mainly people focusing on data lake house, right?
Yes.
Nowadays, so might be you get the answer on this data lake house part, and what type of what type of data you put it into a lake house, what how many layers you have it in lake house. Okay, raw layer staging, which type of data you will put it, what is the data governance things, right? How, I mean, how will you keep the data? I mean, what is the structure? It means directory level structure. क्या होगा मतलब, to be honest, I do not know completely. What I know, I'm just telling you, maybe I'm wrong and I'm not 100% correct, but I'm just giving my my idea on it. So these kind of questions you can prepare कि बड़े लेवल पे आप सोचोगे वेरी बिग लेवल पे, तो हमें डेटा कैसे रखना चाहिए जिससे चीज़ें अच्छी बेटर हों। क्या हमें डेटा वी हैव टू कीप द डेटा इन सच अ फॉर्मेट, इन अ डेट फॉर्मेट, कितना डेटा रखना चाहिए ऑन आवर रॉ लेयर, 1 month का डेटा और 2 months का डेटा और 1 year का डेटा एज अ बैकअप। if it is older than 7 days, so we have to keep the data into an archive folder, right? Archive container, वहाँ पे थोड़ा cost कम लगता है, right?
Yes.
So those kind of questions you have to prepare. And in data, उसमें data warehouse में what will be the method to store the data? There is a cluster index, round robin, hashing, right? So वो कौन सा technique लगाओगे? It is based on the requirement. What is the requirement? आप डेटा कैसे फेच करते हो? राइटिंग डाउन इट्स इजी, राइट कर स्टोर कर रहे हैं, फेच आप कैसे करना चाह रहे हो, व्हाट डेटा यू वांट फर्स्ट, सो बेस्ड ऑन दैट ओनली वी विल कीप दैट वो चीज। एंड स्कीमा अब क्या होता है, इफ यू नो इन वन डेटाबेस वी कैन हैव अ मल्टीपल स्कीमास, राइट? स्कीमा मतलब लेट्स से डीबीओ डॉट टेबल नेम, फिर बहुत से लोग क्या करते हैं प्रोजेक्ट वाइज नेम रखते हैं अपने। एंड आपको व्यू बनाना है तो व्यू क्यों बनाओगे आप उसको, राइट? मटेरियलाइज व्यू बनाओगे कि इनलाइन व्यू बनाओगे? दोस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर।
Okay, got it. And one word you mentioned like indexes. So is it regarding cluster or
हाँ,
non-cluster?
cluster index।
So quickly, can you just explain? I just tried a lot for that because in one of the scenario it came and I just googled and checked.
Cluster index is what, right? See, you have a page, you have a book, right? There's an index. So if you want to go with a chapter 10, you know the page number, you will directly open the page number, right? That is called cluster index.
Okay.
Nothing. And I was telling one thing. I mean, we have to make sure we have to reduce the number of stored procedures. We should not create multiple stored procedure because stored procedure cost too much.
Cost.
What I heard from my seniors or from my company. So people, you can see many of the courses, many of the people are saying, hey, stored procedure बना लो ऐसे कर लेंगे। यार क्या need है? अगर if we are using here Databricks, if we are using a Python, Panda, so why can't we write that same function? It's stored procedure is what? Function only, right?
Yes.
We can create the same function in Databricks using Python, Scala, whatever it is, right? So ऐसे आप बोल सकते हो कि हाँ मैंने ये किया, पहले ये बन रहा था, फिर मैंने बोला अपने नीचे वाले लोगों को कि भाई ये हटाओ, पैसे बहुत लग रहे थे, उसकी कॉस्ट आप देख लो कितनी लगती है स्टोर प्रोसीजर की, तो ये आप बोल सकते हो। एंड metadata tables you have removed, right? Before we were using multiple metadata table to store the logs, since we have moved to the data lake architecture. So here we are using a files only to store the data. ऐसे
And
to store the
sometimes
logging. हाँ.
it takes time also to run, because store procedures sometimes take time as well.
So those kind of things, you can do.
Yeah, and just you mentioned like store of procedures. So what is the main importance of PL SQL in our data engineering? So basically cursors and all the things which we have in.
I haven't used. I used very, when I joined my first organization, I didn't use. I just copy it and I use that service, but I do not know. I mean, I do not know.
So PL SQL is not that much important, right? For
No.
data
PL SQL.
engineering.
PL SQL is not. T SQL is important.
Yeah. Correct.
When I take your courses on that project related, how much years we can keep in resume with that project?
3 years. Matlab, you can keep it 3-4 years. 3 years is you can keep it. Although if you are having more years of assessment, you can keep it. But if you are showing 3 years, 3 years would be enough. I mean, to. Is it Ramakrishna, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm working professional in data engineering profile only. Did 1 year testing, ETL testing in Power BI. Then I moved to development now, present. Yeah, I'm just now I'm learning. I know all the basics of ADF and Databricks, SQL Server. We are working on real time also.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can easily show maximum 3-4 years, if you know well, you can keep 4. If you do not know well, you can keep it 3-2 years like that.
I have totally 2 years experience only.
So
now
2 years no. So then you can show easily 2 years. You don't show 1 year as a testing. You can show 2 years as a data engineering, side only.
Yeah. Okay. Can you make some topics on key wallets and data governance? In Naukri, when I went to Naukri, when I see the requirement, they are asking about related of securities and data governance also.
कोई नहीं करता है भाई, सब ऊपर के बंदे करते हैं. No one, you are data engineer, right? Data governance, all this stuff will be done by some admin person only. What I know. Okay, you just have to know the process.
Yes.
And a keyword things that is already available on the courses, right? How we can secure the password, how we can do this and that. But see, whatever written in JD, right? We should not know everything. No one knows everything. Even the person who is asking the question, he also doesn't know. है ना. अब मेरे को तो लैपटॉप खुला है, मैं तो बस कॉपी कर गूगल में सर्च किया व्हाट इज डेटा गवर्नेंस इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चन, आई जस्ट आस्क यू. तो ना सब चीज आना भी अच्छी बात नहीं होती है. So we should not know everything.
Please make course on this Python, PySpark with Databricks also.
It's already there, Ramakrishna. I mean, if you just want to learn basic, it is already available on website, free course.
Real-time scenarios, we need topics wise.
Real-time scenarios is available, right? You can go and check it out.
That interview questions that I have taken.
No. That is an interview just for practice. That is not a real. To be honest, that is not a very real-time scenario question. You will learn it from anywhere else. That is a SQL query which we are getting converted into PySpark. To be honest, that is not an interview question. This is an interview kind of question just for the practicing purpose. How you can write the code. If you want to know the deep down, right, how Apache Spark work, how PySpark work, why you do not use UDF, what is the challenge you are facing in UDF, how you can optimize the UDF, right? Those things I have covered in another course, and do not know whether you know about it or not. Just give me a minute. Let me ping that link that is available there. See, everything I cannot cover in every courses, right? So hence I am making the course separately. And this also happens कि you want some course, right? Another person do not want that course. So अब सब चीज एक में लिख देंगे, then it will be difficult for other person to take it. So hence this is the reason only. You can check this. You can check the content, table of content. It is not, done yet. I yet to add more videos. It is around 10 to 12 videos are available. You can start it. Meanwhile, in week or 2 week or in 3 weeks, you will get more questions. In a week, in a week I update 1-2 video.
Yeah, I taken this course already. Interview scenarios.
So you have got, right, at least 3-4 questions. You got some real time thing, right?
I learned new things.
So meanwhile, I'll update it. So it is not like it is done. हो गया other video में. No, not like that. Because I'm also getting some question from my colleagues, from my candidates. So those only I'm putting, and I'm just making the scenarios in a different way, and then I'm putting. Okay. Hi, Devi Prasad.
Yeah, for what level of in Python, what level of DSA is required?
DSA is required till binary search tree, link list, queue, stack, and binary search tree or binary tree. It is also not very important part or aspect, but if you know at least the basic of these, the code you write, right? The code you write and the logic you write, then it will be good. If you're just thinking for the interview level, right? If you're planning for service-based companies, you will not be asked data structure part in 90% service-based company. But if you are planning for the Microsoft, big companies, right? Product-based companies, that is the tech companies, then DSA is required till binary search tree only. The thing is, there is a course on my website, Python with data structure and data engineering. Why I have built that course? No, because people do not know the logic, how we write the proper logic and how we can make that logic. If first, this is a data engineering, doesn't mean that we do not need to write. Everything is not a UI tool, right? Or GUI tool, drag and drop wala tool. So there also we need to think the logic. If I am giving some question, let's say, we have a CSV file, we have a Pykit file, we have a TSV file, we have XYZ kind of file. Now we have to choose what type of file it is. Based on that, we have to read the data and write the data. So in that, we need a Python logic. Not Python logic, we need a logic building. So first I will think, should I use a for loop? Or should I use a 2 for loops? Should I use a 3 for loops? Should I use a switch case? Should I use this and that, all the stuff. The same thing is applied when you write the SQL queries. You can relate the questions, right? In a SQL. Yes.
Motor board.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
So I was saying, this is what I believe everyone should do first. First, build your logic building abilities, and then move on these things. अभी जो मेरे को solutions मिल जाते हैं, right? I also think of it. I have write hundred of codes, right? तो अभी मेरे को I have an idea कि how I should do, how I should write the code, all other stuff. So this is required. Data engineering is very easy until unless you know the logics. People, I can bet you, like, many people are sending me on YouTube request or LinkedIn may request, Telegram may request, Sagar, what can be the solution for this scenario? How can I solve this? Because their coding abilities are not correct, right? The logical thinking is not correct. They are not able to think in a different way, think in an optimized way. So there, if you prepare, your logic building first, then easily you can crack, or you can build any solution. DSA is not required, not 100% required, but algorithms, write the algorithms, challenges, solve challenges, that is more required. Now, if I just ask you the question, you have one array, right? You have to find out the middle element, then how will you find out? Right? Those things you have to do. Suppose you have one big array, right? 1 से लेके 100 rows, 100 numbers you have. I am saying distribute these files, these numbers with 10 of group. Then how will you do that? Now, why I'm asking this question? Because the same question can be done, can be used in the data engineering stuff. You have 100 of files. You cannot process 100 of files in one way. In one shot, you have to make a group of it. So there you will first write the code to segregate or to make a group of 10 files, or maybe whatever the configuration of your server. I'm not talking about Apache Spark. Maybe you do not have Apache Spark. You have some simple Python, right, where you have to process the thing. Then you will write these kind of code.
To write the logic, we need the algorithm. Two logics to write.
Yes.
Yeah, you said we have 100 of in one array we have 100 of elements. To take the middle of the element, for data engineers, algorithms are important to write the Python code and logic.
Yes. See, it depends on the use case. There you need a data structure or not. If I give an example of multi-threading concept, you have multiple notebooks. You worked on Databricks, right?
Yeah.
You have multiple notebooks. There is a way to schedule the pipeline, right? Their workflow, what option we have, even though we have a ADF and other stuff we have, you can think in such a way. You do not have Databricks in your picture. Your current project is not using that. Everyone is not using, right? And not every company is using. You have to write your pure Python. And you have 100 of notebooks. You want to run, let's say, first 5 notebooks, first 5 dimensions you can consider. Once these 5 dimension is done, then only you have to start a second fact tables. Then one fact table is depend on some another fact table, and so. There you will use multi-threading, as well as you will use priority queue or queue concept. I'm not saying it is very, you should know at least. I also do not know how I can implement this queue and priority queue in real time. Okay, I have implemented a very basic of queue in my, this tool only, what I have built into this utility, multi-threading, right? But I'm saying if you want to build something unique, for something different, let's say, then there the data structure is needed. This is not like data structure not needed. If you are making some utility, some framework for your organization, so that you will get some good hike, good promotion, there you need these things. Otherwise तो ये सब भी ADF बना रहे हैं, पावर बेस सब बना रहे हैं, क्या कोई कर रहा है? हाइक कहाँ मिलती है? फिर 10% की हाइक मिलेगी तो फिर सब लोग बोलेंगे कि कंपनी छोड़ दोगे सब लोग, है ना? तो इट्स बेटर टू try. See, if you want to get some good hike, organization, build some utility, showcase in a bigger picture in an organization level. वही point main होता है कि see, I have done for the organization. 100 of people using my utility, that is enough. Then you can demand more money from your manager, from your organization. Okay.
Optimization techniques, can you make videos on that?
Optimization for what? In what?
In that optimization to in real time. What I have seen when seniors are working, previously it is taken 10 hours to work to run that query, but now they are optimized for 1 hour, 2 hours. That like
which one?
Means some they written some logics and Databricks.
Database in using you are saying PySpark, right?
Yeah, using PySpark or ADF also. There are some optimizations they are using, but I don't know how
that is. See, if you have taken that course, I have told you that the picture is totally of partitions,
Yeah.
shuffling. If you
Yes.
are able to reduce that shuffling, I will, make those some 2, 4, 5 videos also on top of for related to, these shuffling and sorting techniques, skewness. That is good. Then we are good. Process will not take much time. Just check whenever you are reading some data frame, try to write a code df.rdd.getNum partition. You will see how many partitions are there.
Yeah.
You will
Yeah.
you will see,
That
okay,
is
we are having 3 partitions, right? Don't be so happy. Try to find out how many rows in each partitions.
okay.
Okay, if suppose in one partition there is 1 row, second partition there is 2 rows, and in third partition there is 100 rows, that is data is not distributed correctly, uniformly. Then we have to make the write the logic. So those things I will try to build make up videos for that also. But this is the scenario. I mean, see, whenever you are working, you are thinking, hey, this job is taking five hours. Let's reduce the things. Main thing is just check these 3 properties. Okay, skewness, sorting, and second one shuffling. Okay, and if it is done, then you are good. Apart from this, try to filter out the data at the starting stage itself, so that the process will not take too much time. After that, you also have to think where you are joining two data frames, right? There's too much shuffling, right? So try to reduce the data, try to make a correct join, broadcast join, or make it maybe you are if you are using one data frame multiple places, right? Then use cache persist, all those stuff you can use. And there are many things. See, totally depend on the scenario. What is the scenario, what they want to do? Maybe they have used multiple data multiple logging tables, metadata table, so we can remove that. And there are many challenges, right? So Ramakrishnan, what you can do, if you have these kind of scenarios, right, you can ping me on WhatsApp or LinkedIn key in my company. If you are okay, this is the challenge what I have faced, and I want to optimize this thing, so you can tell me. I can I try to build the.
Yeah. Yeah. One challenge is there, which is how to set
You
convert.
can hey Ramakrishna, this is actually live, so we can discuss it later.
Okay.
I believe you should not. Right?
Yeah.
That's why I stop you. Sorry for that. Yeah, hi, MSN MP. I do not know. I mean, what's the name? Hey, hi, hello. Devi Prasad, Tushar, Tejas, Ramakrishna, if you have any question, please ask me. Since MSAMP is away.
Yeah, I want to ask another one that I have around 2.5 years of experience, and the thing is, I want to switch. I want to transition into the data engineering role, but the challenge and the thing which I am facing is I don't have means currently I'm not working properly in data engineering, but up to certain extent in which I'm running some ETL pipelines. In which I have used the stored procedure, as you have told just previously about the stored procedure, in which we are getting the data from one SQL server, and then with some business logic, we are fetching it and grouping it into certain certain kind of thing, and then again dumping it into the MySQL database. And all these are on-premise database, nothing any cloud-based or something. So in these kind of things, I have worked extensively. So can I show this as a real-time work? Means rather than having something because what I have gone through is that everyone is telling about those. Like Uber kind of thing and all, which are already available over the YouTube and all. And what I came across is that they are not considered as real time work. And yeah, it is not one time migration. It is a complete migration of from one project to our project. This thing is done repeatedly for every instance in a course of maybe 2 months or 3 months, and it is done extensively. So can I show this at and in this pipeline around 20 lakhs data is being means transferred from the one system to other. So this is the
this is normal, Devi. This is normal, like 20 lakh rows. This is normal.
Yeah, what I am trying to say is, can I show this as a real time work?
You can show, you can, but see, people mainly are asking what type of data you have dealt, means which type of field, whether it's a sales data, healthcare sector data, and other kind of data. You can tell any one of it. They can ask you what are the metrics you are showing. What are the metrics you are showing in your you are making, right? So you can tell we are just we are just showing the profit loss, or see, then profit loss you can say, or you can say any other stuff also, right? And if you see, if they ask more question on data type, data things, you can say no, I cannot disclose these things since the data is there's a I cannot tell everything about the data. It is not legal, as per my company. Okay. It's not a policy, right? And then they will not force you to ask you this, but they can ask you how much data you have dealt till now. You do not need to say ki 20 million rows, 30 million. See, 20 million rows, if you are having one column, 20 million rows, 20 lakhs, 10 lakhs rows, maybe 5 MB of data. Consider this can be the case that you having 100 of columns and 20 rows, 20 lakhs rows. Then it will be like 20 GB or 5 GB or 1 GB, right? So you do not need to say 20 lakhs rows. You can say, I have dealt 1 GB, 5 GB data. ऐसे. You don't tell कि 20 lakh rows. So 20 lakh rows तो बहुत हो गया ना. मतलब totally depend how many columns you have. Mainly people ask you how much data you have dealt.
The amount of columns is multiple tables we have taken from, and that based on that we are making the aggregation. And so I don't know exactly what is the amount of GBs of data or something, but from what I have came across is the amount of data which we take from that project data warehouse to our data warehouse, that is up to that, and around 8 to 10 from multiple DBs we are taking, and 8 to 10 means data tables from couple of data warehouse we are taking into our data warehouse.
Yeah, that is correct only. That is correct only. This is just a picture you want to show or tell to your interviewer, right? That is a correct picture. But sometimes they ask you what optimization did you do in your migration project. Then what will you do? What will you say? You can say I have done this kind of POC. We have seen that the process was taking 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever it is. Before it was taking this much. Now you have to tell the story, what you have done. So you have to prepare those questions.
Yeah, earlier the process was taking around 2 to 2.5 hours, but now it came down to around 20 minutes. So because what I felt is that I haven't done anything means what I because all those jobs are written in .NET earlier, and now we are writing it in Golang and Python. So I don't know exactly what happened, but it came down to that. It is make me astonished to believe in that. From 2 hours, it came down to 20 minutes. Is it means I don't know how to explain because in certain
No. I mean, then you have to tell me in detail, right? What you have done, what is your code written, right? Those things before, I mean, without knowing these things, I cannot, tell you, right? So these things you see, whatever you have done, whatever project you have taken, that is okay. Now you have to just prepare for the questions. If you are telling to me, hey, Sagar, I have done this and that, so I might ask some questions to you, right?
yeah.
I might ask some questions to you. So you have to be prepared for those kind of questions. Now I do not know in detail what you have done. If you're talking about my project, then I can say, Acha, you have done this. So this should be the answer. This could be the answer. So those things I do not know. But whatever you have done, just whatever doing is okay. Maybe you are showing 2 years of experience. That is enough, right? To show this kind of project or whatever it is, whatever project. But whatever you are telling to the interviewer, make sure you have build it. Just do not watch any courses. Try to implement that courses also. The things by yourself.
I think mostly in data engineering, mostly migration projects will be there. Any migration strategies like that videos will be, can you create strategies and designing part?
For migration,
Yeah.
migration easy only, right?
Okay.
I mean, there's copy activity, right? Migration.
Yes.
I mean, suppose you have a data present in SQL. I mean, before you were before the source was SQL data warehouse. Now the organization has think to shut down the SQL data warehouse. Then what we will do, we will copy everything right into our data lake house, right? Data lake house. So that is a copy activity. I mean, I can try out, but I can say that's not a very big challenge. I mean, there could be a challenge because the volume of the data, right? So there you might face multiple challenges, but I will try to look into these. I will try to find out some resources, and I try to find out. I will talk with my colleagues or my friends, and then I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, and in job portal and job description, I can see design the pipeline, develop the pipeline. Mostly we know that developing the pipelines, designing the pipeline means for big. If we got huge data means that time how we will design the pipeline.
See, Ramakrishna. Big data means how much data will you receive? What do you think?
GBs like
How much GB?
then more than 20-30 GB.
That is enough. That is वो बड़ा डेटा नहीं होता, वो नॉर्मली डेटा है 10 to 20 GB. उस पर मत सोचो आप कि इतना में आपका पाइपलाइन फेल होने लगेंगी, इतना में नहीं होता है. मतलब सी आई एम द वे अभी मतलब I cannot commit these things. Totally depends on the configuration you have it in your system or having in your clusters VM. But if you're dealing with 10, 15, 20 GB, that is enough. Okay. And mostly, to be honest, many companies does not have this kind of data. Now it is the case you are dealing with the full load or incremental load, right? You are dealing with the full load and incremental load. What is the strategy you are following? I'm not sure whether you have taken the project course or not. There I try to discuss two scenarios. One is incremental, second one is that full load. So usually what we do, we take out every data, whatever present in the source, put it into our system. Then we will try out using the upsert command or merge command to make the load as a incremental. Right now you might have seen that I was telling the same thing. if I mean, how you are dealing with the data. I mean, how you are fetching the data. So I was only fetching a single file every day. Every time only latest file I am fetching. Why I was fetching a single file? I can't, put the location till my table name, and then I can get all the data every time. Right? That is also not correct way to do, right? This is the reason I was just taking out the single partition every time, the latest partition, because I know I have already taken the older partition, right? The data I have processed it. Now I want to process only single partition. There the data can be less. See, I mean, the question which you asked me, honestly, if you tell me in detail, right, your requirement, hey, Sagar, this is my requirement, this is my scenario, this is my business want, this is my configuration, these many resources we have it. Now I can answer you properly. Abhi aise jaldebazi mein to I cannot answer properly because it totally depends on multiple parameters, right? कि आप क्या यूज कर रहे हो, कितनी टेक्नोलॉजीज आपके पास हैं, ADF यूज कर रहे हो कि डेटाब्रिक्स यूज कर रहे हो, right? So those kind of things, we have to think first.
One more question: can Azure SQL be considered as a data warehouse?
Azure SQL?
Can Azure SQL be considered as a data warehouse, like which is in
No,
cloud?
no. Azure Data Warehouse is another service, right?
Yeah,
Azure SQL is a
Synapse.
data,
Yeah,
Synapse.
Synapse I know, but instead of Synapse, if you want to use,
You can use it. You do not want to use a data warehouse. What is data warehouse?
So basically, all
Combination
the
of database, we can say.
databases. Yeah.
You do not want, na?
Yeah, so if we don't want to use the basically data analytics, Synapse Analytics, instead, if we have the data migration project, and if we have the all the data warehouse on-prem servers, and we directly want them to migrate to our Azure SQL, like on the cloud, and we don't want Azure Synapse, so can we consider Azure SQL as data warehouse, which is on cloud?
You can consider it, right?
Yeah,
now
so basically why I'm asking this question, so basically when we say multiple times about the data warehouse on the clouds, most of the time for the Azure, it's like Synapse, and we don't consider Azure SQL as the data warehouse. So that's why I'm checking, because is it a good word to use for Azure SQL as a data warehouse in any scenario?
No. In data Azure Synapse, Azure Synapse works on MPP architecture. As per I know, there is a polybase also, and one more thing is there. But MPP architecture, massive parallel processing. Okay. I do, and it also has a polybase. Elastic pool or polybase. Elastic pool, I guess we can enable it, but we have a polybase. Now what does polybase means? We can connect the data warehouse tables, right, to our data lake.
Yes, that I
right?
got.
That is a feature of data warehouse. I mean,
Yes.
Azure Synapse ka feature.
Yes.
Now, if you're talking about Azure SQL, I don't think so. We have that flexibility to use the same thing.
So the question was, the database can be migrated, right, from the SQL server on-prem. So my scenario.
Yes. Database. Suppose you have one database called project name, right, and having 5 to 10 tables, right? Then you want that is present in data warehouse, DWH, right? So wahan se if you want to copy that particular database or tables, you can create it. You can just create a ADF.
So we can create the multiple databases as well. So like
you can create it. You can create multiple databases, no?
In Azure SQL
So
also
inside one, inside one server, you can create multiple databases.
Yeah, and we can migrate them, right? So that can also be the scenario.
That was I am saying, na? You can migrate it, no? From copy activity if you are using Azure architecture. So from copy activity, you must have the option, for the link service, Azure SQL Core Data Warehouse. I mean, I'm not sure, completely sure, but there should be option.
Yeah, so my question was because in one of the real-time scenario where Azure Synapse is not used, and when we have the Azure, so if someone asks what is the data warehouse you have used in your project, so what will be the answer? Because this is the real time I have done, like migration
So
from
see,
on-prem.
my company does not have a data warehouse. Why should I keep the data in data warehouse?
So that if we can say we don't have data warehouse for the project, is it fine?
It's totally see, this is not your question. I mean, this is not your what I can say. This is not in your hand, right?
Yeah.
There is a
But
person.
we have the on-prem data warehouse, but for the cloud one, we haven't used Synapse.
So
See,
you see, yes, Tushar.
yeah, so yeah, your data that you are dumping in your SQL database, it is acting like a sink. You are querying it, your operation is getting done and fulfilled. It
Yes,
is a
correct.
temporary, like you do not need, like your company does not feel like there is a need for a specific tool like a data warehouse.
Yeah.
Either your transactions are done through Databricks or some other
Yes,
method or some
Databricks
other.
is in use. Yeah.
Yeah, so your solution is present. You do not need to, like, if they ask, tell them like, we don't have a data like what do you call, conventional data warehouse or a Synapse. We have some other solution and we are just using a SQL thing as a
Mainly,
sink. Yeah.
now companies are using lakehouse only. They are not making a data warehouse. They are making a data lakehouse or data lakehouse.
Yes, got it. Yeah.
Now, see, totally depends on the architecture. How your end user want the data.
Yes. I asked because in the my architecture, Synapse is not used, and many times.
No. वो
someone-
कोई भी पूछे ना, तो you
Yeah.
have to say, see, there is a person called solution architect.
Yeah.
They have designed these things. I was not allowed to
Yeah.
put the data into this.
Yeah.
Simple
Because
baat. And
in my
data,
project
why
directly, it
to
is going to the
correct.
Azure SQL. Yeah.
Correct. Why to have, see, you are putting your middle data into a bronze, I mean, in data lake, right? And your final data is putting into where? In a SQL databases or data warehouse. That doesn't make sense until unless it is required. When it is required, see, if you are talking about very big companies, there are multiple users, right? And there can be the case they do not know this Spark, right? And if the Unity catalog is not enabled, right? Or maybe it is I mean, it is not enabled, right? So you cannot give access to your end users, the person who is business stakeholder वाले लोग ना, उनको आप एक्सेस नहीं दे सकते. आप दे भी दोगे एक्सेस डेटाबेस, हम they do not know how to query the things in this service, database ka service. They know SQL little bit, or what they can do, they can directly connect those SQL tables in the Excels, in the pivot. They can create that pivot and do whatever it is. This was the reason, when I asked one question to my senior when I was working in another company, they said this is the reason why we use cubes, why we give them tables, SQL tables. And if any company want a data warehouse, they can create it, but that is a costly operation nowadays, right? To store the data into data warehouse. Maybe many companies having data warehouse nowadays also, but what they do, they do not keep the data. They do not have the storage, right? I mean, they don't use the data warehouse or database ka storage. They just, since the data warehouse in apps having the concept of polybase, so they just create an external table, right? Which is already present in our published layer or our data lake. So वहां से वो external table बना के they just put it some tables or create views on top of that.
Yes, thank you. Got it.
आपको मतलब सी whenever you are getting these kind of questions ना, सी मेरे पास हाथ में है ही नहीं भाई, मैं तो करना
Yes,
चाह रहा था, वो
correct.
है ही नहीं. सिंपल. अभी
Yeah.
अब ऊपर क्या डिसाइड हुआ है that you do not know. If you know why you are not, whether you can ask these questions to your lead or to your managers, why we do not. Maybe 90% manager also doesn't know.
Yeah, correct. That
है
is the
ना,
scenario.
कि भाई क्यों नहीं यूज कर रहे हैं, नहीं यूज कर रहे हैं. अब वो सॉल्यूशन आर्किटेक्ट ने, प्रिंसिपल वाले ने बोल दिया कि भाई मत यूज करना. अब हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते ना, हम PR भी रेस करेंगे तो वो मर्ज नहीं होगी, है
Correct.
ना.
Yes.
तो वो सब ऐसे कंपनी के लोचे हैं. या तो फिर लड़ो बैठ के आप उनसे, आर्किटेक्ट से. अब वो मानेगा नहीं, सिंपल बात.
Yes,
ना
correct.
दिया है वो, आप आके छोटे लेवल पे बंदे आप जाके उससे लड़ रहे हो, भाई तुम गलत कर रहे हो, वो मानेगा नहीं अपनी बात. है ना, ये होता है सभी कंपनी में।
Correct. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
ये करना चाहिए एक्चुअली में,
हम्म।
उससे मजा आता है कि भाई
नॉलेज गेन हो जाता
ना,
है वो
काफी
डिस्कशन।
काफी गेन होता है. इट डजंट मीन दैट इफ समवन इज हैविंग 20-30 years experience, he knows very well in every field, right? ऐसा
यस
होता है, मेरे को 4 साल है, मेरे को नहीं कुछ आंसर आया, आपको आ गया, ठीक है भाई, अच्छी बात है. ऐसा तो ना मेरे को भी सब आता हो, है ना. किसी को 2-2 साल वाले को अच्छा आ जाता है, 1-1 साल वाले को ज्यादा चीजें आती हैं, तो ये तो सब में होता है. वॉट आई थिंक कि ऐसा हमें नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि समवन हैज ऑलरेडी बिल्ड दिस आर्किटेक्चर्स और एनी कोर्स दैट इज ट्रू, मतलब वो बिल्कुल परफेक्टली फाइन है, ऐसा नहीं होता है. सो ट्राई टू लर्न फ्रॉम दैट. जैसे मैंने पहले भी यही सेम चीज बोली ना, जैसे अभी मैंने बोला, आपको पता चला कि डेटा वेयर हाउस नहीं यूज कर रहे हैं, अब आपको सीखना है कि भाई क्यों नहीं यूज कर रहे हैं. परफेक्ट आंसर वही बंदा दे पाएगा जिसने ये आर्किटेक्चर डिजाइन किया है. उसी से पूछो भाई भाई ये क्यों नहीं यूज कर रहे हैं, बताओ इसको. अब वो
करेक्ट
बताएगा रीजन, इस कंपनी में ऐसा ऐसा फॉलो होता है, तो आपको एग्जैक्ट रीजन मालूम चल जाएगा कि भाई तुमने क्यों नहीं यूज किया.
करेक्ट
अगर आपको लगे कि नहीं यूज होना चाहिए था, तब आप उससे बात करो कि यार ये भी तो कर सकते थे, ऐसे भी तो किया जा सकता था, ऐसा फलाना ढिंकाना एक्सवाइजेड. मेनली वही बात होती है, पैसे क्यों खर्च करने फालतू के. कोई यूज ही नहीं कर रहा डेटा वेयर हाउस को, है ना, उसका सर्वर
करेक्ट
कॉस्ट लोगे आप फालतू.
करेक्ट
और एक एक्स्ट्रा रिसोर्स भी बढ़ा रहे हो, डिप्लॉयमेंट मैनेज, पुल,
यस
आई मीन गेट वेट, सब चीज वो
बहुत
करोगे
सारे
उसका.
पैरामीटर्स भी होते हैं उसमें.
हाँ,
करेक्ट
तो वो वेस्ट होगा, पैसे $500-600 लग जाते हैं अगर अगर आप 100 ड्यूटी पे चलाओगे 24/7.
सिनेप्स में.
हाँ, जितना मेरे को आइडिया है, इतने मिनिमम इतने लगते हैं, तो दैट इज टू मच, लैक ऑफ पीस. तो
करेक्ट बराबर चलेगा. थैंक यू सो मच
नो
फॉर.
प्रॉब्लम तेजस. हाय तुषार, हाय अमा कृष्णा देवी. हैव एनीथिंग और वी कैन वाइंड अप.
Yeah, I had asked. Actually, भाई है क्या कि मेरी कंपनी पैसे दे रही है डेटाबेस का, अगर आपको सर्टिफिकेशन करना है. मुझे करना नहीं है क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली मुझे 8,000 रुपए अपने पॉकेट से देने पड़ेंगे, इवन दो 50% ऑफ है. बट मेरे को उसका कोर्स लाइक पढ़ना था क्योंकि मुझे कहीं नहीं मिल रहा है
I
प्रॉपर,
can
इवन
only,
यूडेमी तक कोई ढंग से नहीं मिल रहा है.
भाई, see, आप you can go with the tutorials available on the lake, I mean the Databricks website only, right?
नहीं यार,
Can you get?
डेटाब्रिक्स के वेबसाइट पे लेक हाउस का है, ठीक है, वो फ्री है, वो 2 घंटे 2.5 घंटे का है. जो उनका डेटा इंजीनियर वाला प्रोफाइल है उसके लिए क्या है कि $1,500 दो, या तो आपकी कंपनी पे करे, जो उसका इंस्ट्रक्टर अवेलेबल होगा तो वो पढ़ाएगा ऑन, जैसे लर्निंग
हाँ,
का
समझ
पोर्टल
गया,
होता
वो
है
मैंने
ना.
किया है मैंने वो चीज, बेसिक का
अरे
मैंने
वो,
किया था.
अच्छा अच्छा, मेरे को कहीं मिल नहीं रहा है उसका. कभी फ्री है नहीं, मतलब क्या कहते हैं, उसका स्लॉट नहीं अवेलेबल है. और अक्टूबर 11 तक का टाइम है, मतलब हमें मिला 1 महीने का टाइम. जिसको करना है कर लो, 50% पैसे हम देंगे. एंड आई डोंट नो व्हाट टू डू. लाइक हम, मेरे को लगा कि देख लेते हैं कि कैसा है, लेकिन मैं एक्चुअली प्रोजेक्ट शुरू कर दिया था, तो 2 हफ्ते मुझे उसको खत्म करने में लगे, वर्क को खत्म करके. अभी फिर मैं देखता हूँ यार उसका क्या करना है. मेरे को कहीं मिल नहीं रहा है, कहीं मिले तो जरूर रेफर करना प्लीज.
Sure. मतलब I don't think so in lake house only SQL part will be asked, right? How you can write the data, what will be the I mean, how will you store the data into lakehouse, what type of data you store in raw layer. मतलब मेरे को भी नहीं पता, मैंने नहीं किया है, but I have seen many people have posted these certifications on LinkedIn, so maybe I can ask them कि how you prepared for that. Then I can let you know.
Sure. Also, like जो पिछला question था, the one where like the senior architecture and all that kind of thing. See, the thing is, I have someone who works at like a very high level, below CTO level kind of thing. Lot of time they get deals on these things. Oh, please use my technology, or please use my thing. We will reduce this much cost for you, and we have like a synchronous partnership. Plus, like for example, you are Boeing. Okay, you need your data to happen. You contact Wipro. Okay, now the thing is, when you contact all these people, the people at Wipro or some other team is there, they will also be like, okay, we'll do it for this much cost, or this much cost, or this much cost. So it's not just like how much individual cost of the product that you are going to use. It's all about all these deals as well, as they also come into play.
Correct. How much we can say there are two kind of cost. to a project. One is the resource cost and one is the infra cost. So इस प्रोजेक्ट में इतनी इंफ्रा कॉस्ट लगेगी, इतना ही बजट है हमारा, तो वी हैव टू मेक द आर्किटेक्चर लाइक दैट कि वी कैन नॉट यूज लॉजिक ऐप. अगर मैं इस फॉर एन एग्जांपल ना, आई कैन नॉट यूज लॉजिक ऐप देयर, सो आई हैव टू राइट देन पाइथन स्क्रिप्ट SDKs in Python to leverage the same thing. और ऐसे बहुत से केसेस हो सकते हैं. ये भी एक सिनेरियो होता है कि हमें डेडिकेटेड इतना बोला गया कि $500 ही खर्च करने हैं इस प्रोजेक्ट में मंथली. सो भाई उसके हिसाब से हमें कोड और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तैयार करना है. सो मेनली व्हाट इन मतलब जो मैंने जितनी कंपनीज के लिए काम किया, देयर इज एक मतलब सिंगल प्रोजेक्ट नहीं होता उनका, शेयर्ड होती सब चीज़ें. तो वी हैव अ वन रेपोजिटरी वेयर वी पुट एवरीथिंग. सो दोस काइंड ऑफ वहाँ पे ऐसा कुछ सीन होता नहीं है कि अगर बट आप मेनली अगर सर्विस बेस्ड कंपनी में जो क्लाइंट अलग अलग चेंज होते रहते हैं, राइट, 2-3 महीने में क्लाइंट नए नए प्रोजेक्ट मिल रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे मेनली आई गेस ऐसा आपको देखने को मिलेगा कि हमें डेडिकेटेड पैसे बताए जाते हैं. कि मैंने पूछा था किसी बंदे से, बड़े लेवल के बंदे से, तो उन्होंने यही बोला था कि जब बजट आता है एक प्रोजेक्ट का तो वो बोला जाता है कि इतना बजट है. तो वो दो टाइप की बजटें होते हैं. एक होता है रिसोर्स का कि इस टीम में मुझे 4 बंदे हैं, 4 लोग, अगर 10-10 लाख का है तो 40 लाख बजट वो चला गया. और मैं मान लूँ यार साल का इतना चला गया, और अगर $100 मुझे हर महीने खर्च करने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे, तो वो हो गया कुछ 50-60 लाख रुपए काइंड ऑफ. वो भी कैलकुलेशन बने तो उस पे मुझे हम लोग इतना खर्चा करेंगे. वन CI का प्रोजेक्ट हर साल में मतलब मैं दे सकता हूँ. तभी कभी को होता है कि रिड्यूस कर दिया रिसोर्स प्रोजेक्ट में, है ना, इतने एलोकेट ही नहीं किए, किसी को हटा दिया, भगा दिया, पैसा ही नहीं है उनके पास इतना देने को, ऐसा. तो वो 2 टाइप ऑफ कॉस्ट होती हैं. टोटली डिपेंड ऑन आपका कंपनी कैसे काम करती है. जैसे आप अलग अलग बना रहे हो. अब मैं आया, मेरी छोटी कंपनी है, छोटी सी बहुत, है ना, मैंने बोला भाई तुषार या तेजस आप लोग मिलकर एक प्रोजेक्ट बना दो, मैं आपको इतना ही पैसा दे पाऊंगा. तो सब आपको करना है, ठीक है. अभी अब दूसरी कंपनी क्या आई, उसमें मल्टीपल प्रोजेक्ट ही रन हो रहे हैं, ठीक है, मल्टीपल प्रोजेक्ट रन हो रहे हैं. तो मैंने बोल दिया आपको कि हाँ ये मेरी देखो डेटा लेक है, ये ADF यूज़ कर लेना, ये यूज़ कर लेना. उसमें मुझे पैसे की कुछ नहीं है, परवाह नहीं है. मुझे आपको पैसे देने हैं बस. वो जो कॉस्ट वाला चीज़ है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाला, कोई दूसरी टीम देख रही है, ठीक है, वो बता देगी कि इतना बजट ये वाली टीम इतना ज़्यादा यूज़ कर रही है, तो हम उसको बोल देंगे कि भाई तो ये यूज़ मत करो, ऐसा यूज़ करो, ऐसे ये होता है.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. That's it. मेरे एंड पे तो हो गया, और किसी को क्वेश्चन है तो श्योर.
नहीं अब मतलब अच्छा लगता है कि आई ऑल्सो लर्न समथिंग फ्रॉम यू गाइस कि हाँ चलो ऐसे ऐसे है, ये सिनेरियो है, ऐसा होता है. ऐसा नहीं है कि हम ही सब नॉलेज दे रहे हैं, हम लेते भी नॉलेज आप लोग से, है ना. तो so we'll wind up then, and I think I answered all the queries, and I hope that you have liked this session. At least थोड़ा बहुत तो समझ में आया होगा.
Is there any platform where you give any means kind of guidance or something? So that
Guidance, see, there is a portal called Preplaced, but I'm, to be honest, I'm not free for this month. You can register for that, right, if you want to. But honestly speaking, you do not need these things. Honestly speaking, you do not need these things. There are everything available on internet. मतलब आपको अगर लेना है तो मैं मना नहीं करूंगा भाई, मेरा बेनिफिट है उसमें, ठीक है. बट आई एम सेइंग कि एट एक्सट्रीम लेवल की जब आपको लगे कि अब मैं कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, मुझे किसी का चाहिए साथ, है ना, एक होता है कि जो मुझे गाइड कर दे बेसिक चीज़ों पे, देन आई वुड सजेस्ट कि हाँ देन गो एंड कम. यू ऑलरेडी हैव टेकन मल्टीपल प्रोजेक्ट्स, यू हैव ऑलरेडी बिल्ड मल्टीपल प्रोजेक्ट्स, सो उसी से आप अपनी गलतियों से सीखो ना कि मैंने वहाँ पे क्या मिस्टेक हो गई मेरे से. सी व्हाट पीपल डू ना कि दे ट्राई टू, अभी आपने प्रिपरेशन कर ली, 1-2 ईयर्स का एक्सपीरियंस हो गया, आपने प्रिपरेशन कर ली, अब आप इंटरव्यू दे रहे होगे मे बी बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज में, है ना, डेलाइट हो गया, एसेंचर हो गया, बड़ी मानी जाती है कंपनी, वहाँ पे आप रिजेक्ट हो रहे हो शायद. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग टू यूज इट, मतलब ऐसा आपको नहीं बोल रहे हैं, सबको बहुत लोग होते हैं ऐसे. मत दो ना उन कंपनी में, वो बहुत ही बेकार कंपनी होती हैं जो नहीं 3 लाख रुपए 4 लाख रुपए देती हैं, 5 लाख रुपए देती हैं, रोती हैं पैसे के पीछे. उनमें जाके अप्लाई करो, वो आपका हायर भी कर, मतलब हायर नहीं, मतलब वो आपका इंटरव्यू भी ले लेंगी जल्दी. आप बोलोगे मुझे पैसे तो कम ही चाहिए, ठीक है, जस्ट फॉर सेक ऑफ प्रैक्टिस, आपको प्रैक्टिस हो जाए कि आपको कितना आता है, उसमें हो जाओ रिजेक्ट, मजा आएगा, रिजेक्ट हो जाओ, कोई दिक्कत नहीं, आपको कंपनी ज्वाइन ही नहीं करनी थी, है ना। कंपनी तो अब ऐसे आपने पास होगा तो अच्छी बात है, उसका ऑफर ले लो, काउंटर मार दो दूसरी जगह। तो ऐसे तीन तीन चार कंपनी में आप करोगे, आपको खुद ही कॉन्फिडेंस आ जाएगा। अगर आप हमेशा पास हो रहे होगे तो आपको 100% आप फिर जाओ बड़ी कंपनी में अप्लाई कर दो। अगर आप फेल हो रहे हो तो उससे भी आपको पता चलेगा कि वेयर आई एम लैगिंग, राइट, व्हाट आई नीड टू लर्न, जहाँ पे कहाँ पे फोकस ज़्यादा करना, आई नीड टू फोकस वेयर ऑन विच पार्ट, तो दोज थिंग्स you can do.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the
Don't
guidance.
see, don't waste your money. I am saying no. मतलब ऐसा मत जाओ कि अगर तुषार बोल रहे हैं कि यार प्रोजेक्ट बहुत बढ़िया है तो हम ले लें जाके, या उसमें व्यूज ज़्यादा आ गए हैं तो या मैं भी देख लूँ, वो मुझे भी अच्छा, ऐसा नहीं होता है। सबको अपना अपना पेस से सब लोग चलते हैं। रामाकृष्णन ने बोला उनको कुछ और अच्छा लगा, तेजस को कुछ और अच्छा लगा, है ना। तो टोटली डिपेंड ऑन यू, आपको क्या, आपका क्या वो है, माइंडसेट क्या है, आगे आप क्या देख रहे हो, ठीक है। ये दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि ऐसा नहीं होता है कि जिसके रिव्यूज अच्छे 5 में 5 स्टार आ गए, ऑनेस्टली किसी में नहीं 5 में 5 आता है, ठीक है। आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट कोर्स, कुछ भी आप प्रोजेक्ट ले लो कभी भी, जहाँ पे आपको 5 में 5 दिख रहा है मतलब कुछ तो लोचा है, ठीक है। नहीं होता ऐसे 5 में 5 सभी, मतलब 1000 लोगों ने लिया, 1000 लोगों को अच्छा लग गया, कैसी बात कर रहे हो भाई, ऐसा कभी हुआ है ना। तो ऐसा मत सोचो, मतलब हम जस्ट सेइंग कि जो लोग हम देखते हैं लिंक्डइन में, लोग जो डालते रहते हैं इतना रेटिंग उतना रेटिंग, नहीं होता, रेटिंग दिखाया वही जाता है जो दिखाना चाहिए, है ना। समझ में हम जो दिखाना चाह रहे हैं, हम हमसे पॉजिटिव ही दिखा रहे हैं। किसी भी कोर्स में जाओ आपको नहीं दिखेगा कि भाई वहाँ पे निगेटिव किसी ने लिखा है भाई बेकार, ऐसा हो सकता है। जरा सोचो आप, आपको 10,000 लोगों ने आपको एक प्रोडक्ट बेचा, है ना, एक किसी ने 10,000 लोग को प्रोडक्ट बेचा, और 10,000 लोगों ने 5 में 5 दे दिया। कभी आपने कभी देखा है ऐसा? नहीं देखा होगा आपने, किसी ने नहीं देखा होगा भाई। कोई ना कोई तो वहाँ निगेटिव मारता है, मेरे यूट्यूब में भी सब लोग निगेटिव मार के चले जाते हैं। हमेशा 100% नहीं आता, है ना। तो नहीं होता भाई मेरे ऐसे, वो मत सोचो आप। बहुत ही ये, बस हमने एक बात बोली है कि ऐसा नहीं होता जो हम लोग सोचते हैं। हमने बहुत से कोर्स लिए हैं, मेरे को नहीं अच्छे लगे वो कोर्स, किसी को अच्छा लगा, मेरे को नहीं अच्छा लगा, ठीक है। सब अपनी अपनी वो है कि लर्निंग किस से समझ में आ रहा है। मे भी आपको मेरे से समझ में आता हो ज़्यादा, आपको दूसरे टीचर से समझ में ना आ रहा हो, वो कुछ ज़्यादा ही एडवांस लेवल बता रहा है चीज़ें, या बहुत ही बेसिक बता रहा है। तो वो डिपेंड करता है ना सब पे कि भाई कैसा हुआ सामने वाला। चलिए फिर ना रखते हैं, आई गेस आई मीन इट्स, आई मीन यू, आई हैव आंसर ऑल द क्वेरीज। द लास्ट कॉल, तुषार, रामकृष्ण, तेजस, देवी, एनीथिंग?
No.
No, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah.
ओके चलिए, बाय बाय, थैंक यू।